Welcome back. You are watching KTN Newsdesk. Many thanks for staying with us. Let's now go back to our top story of the hour. Nyeri County Governor Ruto Gachagua has died. He succumbed to pancreatic cancer while undergoing treatment in London, and his death brings to an end a tumultuous political career that saw him survive two dramatic impeachment motions. Arrangements are currently underway to bring his body back home for burial. Let's now speak to our Standard Group reporter Lydia Nyawera, who is joining us live from his home in Nyeri County in Iriga. Lydia, thank you very much once again for joining us. You have extensively covered the county government of Nyeri with Ruto Gachagua as the head of that particular county assembly. Just take us back to what the journey has been like for him as the governor of Nyeri County.
Yes, the late Ruto Gachagua was voted in from popular vote. Very many people were very excited at his election. However, when Gachagua came into office, there was a great deal of opposition because there was concern that he was going to take on the coffee cartels, which he did. Gachagua has survived two impeachment motions, one which was at the county assembly, which he was able to quell. The second one went all the way to the Senate, and still he was able to defeat that as well. And for the past 2 years, he has been ailing from pancreatic cancer and was undergoing treatment in London. The last time he was seen in Nyeri County was last year in December. Last year in December.
You're based in Nyeri County, Lydia, and the governor has been missing in the scene for a while, of course, due to health conditions. Would you say that there was a leadership vacuum with him away out of the country for treatment?
Well, there had been concerns raised both by the county assembly, members of parliament, and of course those who were concerned about the fact that he was not being seen in public. However, the concerns were more or less quelled because he would often come into the county for a month or two and then go back to London. And this gave a sense of continuity. However, most of the time while he was away, the deputy governor, Samuel Wamathai, was in charge and taking control of the county. There were also concerns that his family was greatly involved in the county affairs, concerns that were raised even during the impeachment motion. Yes.
You've covered this man, Lydia, since he was voted into office 5 years ago as the governor. Let us look at him from your eyes. What kind of person was Ruto Gachagua, according to you?
Well, Ruto Gachagua was a firm leader. He was one who took no prisoners. Occasionally, he was very combative. Very combative. He was clear in his stance, focused on certain development agendas, and when it came time to put the hammer down.
All right, apologies. We have lost her once again, but of course that is Lydia Nyawera, Standard newspaper reporter in Nyeri County, speaking to us from his home in Iriga. But of course, she was just telling us about the kind of journey that the governor has undertaken the past 5 years before succumbing to pancreatic cancer. But it is a developing story. We will continue keeping you up to speed on it as our troops or our crew in Nyeri County continues getting as much information as they can from the family. Now, the National Transport and Safety Authority this morning embarked on a crackdown targeting pedestrians flouting road safety rules along Jogoo Road here in Nairobi. The exercise, which kicked off from 6 a.m. Friday morning, nabbed more than 100 offenders who, interestingly, were not arrested but only apprehended for a few minutes before being released by the authority. They, however, underwent a sensitization and education class conducted by the roadside of the busy Jogoo Road. The authority records that since the year began, 6 people have lost their lives along the busy Jogoo Road after failing to use the nearby footbridge erected near the Bama Market.
Lakini hawa kituambia tufukie kwa daraja, watu wengine wanaonanga ni kama wananyanyasa watu, lakini wanatetea maisha yetu.
We are not taking the offenders to court. We are educating them to make them understand. We want them to be our ambassadors on road safety. on the use of designated crossing point. But going forward, we will not hesitate to take the offenders to court.
4 workers died in a Thika factory, while 2 of them are admitted in hospital in critical condition. The 4 met their death at the leather industries of Kenya, situated along the Thika-Garissa highway. The workers were unclogging an effluent pit where they discharged their waste. One of them fell into the deep pit, and when his colleagues attempted to rescue him, they also fell in and died on the spot. Thika DCC Tom Anjere, accompanied by Thika West security team, visited the scene and confirmed the incident, saying investigations have commenced and they are going to establish whether the workers were working without protective gear or not.
Kuwa na mkasa katika factory mwendo wa saa 7 hivi, na kufikia sasa tumeweza kudhibitisha kwamba watu 4 wamepoteza maisha yao na 2 wamepata majeraha ambapo wamekimbizwa hospitali kujaribu kupewa matibabu. Tumeanzisha uchunguzi kuona haswa kilichosababisha mkasa huu, na tungependa kutoa wito kwa wananchi kama kuna yote ambaye kuna habari aje asaidie ile kitengo chetu cha upelelezi katika kujaribu kufafanua kilichosababisha mkasa huu.
As across our borders, Burundian officials who had traveled to Uganda to persuade their nationals to return home left empty-handed after they were met with a hostile reception at a rally organized for a team led by Burundi Minister for Home Affairs Pascal Barandagie. The refugees in Nakivale settlement demanded justice, an African Union force to protect those opposed to the government, and the resignation of President Pierre Nkurunziza before they could return home. To return as free citizens, the refugees demanded for justice and repatriation for themselves and their relatives. Uganda, which hosts about 45,000 Burundians, was Barandagie's first stop. He planned to head to Tanzania and the Democratic Republic of Congo next. All right, let's now move on to another story in South Africa. We'll definitely bring you details about xenophobia, but away from that, La La Land is cleaning up this award season and is a favorite at this year's Oscars ceremony. Set in Hollywood's golden age, the musical and nominations in 14 categories, tying the all-time record with Titanic and All About Eve in Los Angeles. The film's songs and dance numbers have sparked a craze among aspiring dancers, hoping to recreate the choreography of Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. Take a look.
In this tap dancing class in Los Angeles, students practice their steps tirelessly. They are trying to mimic the exact footwork of La La Land characters Mia and Sebastian. Thanks to the film's success, Hillary's dance classes are full. 8 times a week, her students come here to relive, if only for an hour, the magic of La La Land.
I think it's been really inspiring for people to get up and dance, people who maybe have thought about it in the past and then see the movie, or people who have used to dance and then have come back to it. We do have a few people here who used to take class and then they haven't taken it in a while, and our beginner classes have definitely been a lot more full these days.
The film's 2 stars, Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling, put in hundreds of hours to master the choreography. After 10 weeks of intensive dance classes, their on-screen chemistry earned them universal praise.
You know, at the time, Emma was doing cabaret, so, but they're really hard workers. They're really dedicated and really hard workers, so they danced every day with Mandy, and Ryan had his piano, and he rehearsed 3-4 hours a day.
Wow.
I mean, they're both very dedicated people.
According to some of Hollywood's most renowned critics, Damien Chazelle's masterpiece arrived at the perfect time, in a tense political climate following the election of Donald Trump.
Here was a way to escape current-day problems, by a reminder of things working out, by giving us a certain nostalgia when things were easier and better and romantic and lovely and we were all young. So every film that wins the Oscar wins not only by its own accomplishments, but also by tapping into something in the zeitgeist. And that's what La La Land has done.
With 14 nominations, La La Land is sure to win big at the Oscars and could even become a cult film here in Hollywood.
Back into the continent, South Africa's Home Affairs Minister Malusi Gigaba has condemned renewed anti-foreigner violence after homes were burnt and shops looted in xenophobic attacks over the past 2 weeks. Anti-immigrant violence has flared sporadically in South Africa against a backdrop of near-record unemployment, with foreigners being accused of taking jobs from locals and being involved in crime. Gigaba said he has requested a meeting with African Union ambassadors today to inform them of a government action to quell the violence. Nigeria's foreign minister summoned South Africa's envoy to raise its concerns over xenophobic attacks on Nigerians, other Africans and Pakistanis.
Their nationals to respect the laws of the countries in which they live. Disgruntlement raised by communities is around competition for jobs, access to economic opportunities and alleged criminal activities involving foreign nationals, including amongst those drug peddling and prostitution, as well as the hijacking of houses. I have met with protest organizers and have appealed to them to express themselves responsibly.
Criminality has no nationality. In other words, you can find criminals in every society, just like in South Africa, just like in Nigeria. We are not saying that we are saints. Yes, there are a couple of Nigerians that might be engaged in some illegal trade, but it is not peculiar to Nigerians alone.
That's not really a good idea to treat all Nigerians in the same way, because some people are bad. You must just go straight to those people are wrong and persecute them instead of treating all the people in general. That's not, for me, I don't agree with that. It's not a good idea.
You have a child, and your child is being used for reasons like what I understand people say, their children have been used for this kind of purposes, you will not be happy. But I think your unhappiness shouldn't be expressed to other people who are doing their own business legally or struggling to make their own life in an honest way.
All right, let's now get back into the country. Deputy President William Ruto is expected to arrive at Chesongoch in Elgeyo Marakwet following the recent unrest in the area. Ruto is also visiting Barsabua location in Baringo North. And our reporter Elvis Koskei is following the developments there and now joins us via phone for more details. Good afternoon, Elvis. Thank you very much for joining us. Why is this particular visit by the Deputy President important for the people of Chesongoch?
Thank you very much, Akisa. Currently, I'm at Chesongoch area in Tot area, Elgeyo Marakwet County, where we have been waiting for the deputy president to arrive here. But up to now, we are still waiting for the deputy president. But Akisa, what has just happened about 30 minutes ago is that suspected Pokot raiders have wreaked havoc again in this place. It comes at a time when the deputy president is expected to be here. Gunshots has rented the air for almost 30 minutes, and we just from far we saw like men, around 40 men just running away, chasing cattle here and there. Women have been forced to climb up the hill to seek refuge. This comes at a time where the security personnel in the area have been beefed up. But interestingly, the security officers in the area at Chesongoch, we did not see any effort for them maybe to try and find out what is happening in the region, but they have just been securing one place and leaving the other. So this actually, it's ironical according to us, because just on Saturday, Pokot traders invaded a place called Kapkobil in Marakwet East here, sub-county, and killed one person. And also it included a nurse and a pastor who are now nursing serious gunshot wounds. Another one was beheaded in a place called Kaptora sublocation, again here at Elgeyo Marakwet County. So we are waiting for the deputy president. His visit to the area is of great importance. But what really happens when bandits can even attack, even when the security details are there, it's something that it raises eyebrows in the Kerio Valley region, Akisa.
The Deputy President is expected to make an address at the very point you say bandits have raided not very many minutes back. Are there any security concerns? Do we still expect him to make way there?
Akisa, we spoke to Eric Omlevu, the area deputy county commissioner, and still they are waiting for the deputy president. So it's still a matter of time that we are yet to establish whether the deputy president will come, because they are told he has been to a rural area in another area far from here. So we want to know if the deputy president will really come address the concerns of the residents. They've also talked to residents here, and they're saying if the deputy president will not assure them that their security, they'll secure this area, then they'll come out in large numbers and maybe vote of Jubilee government. Of a great concern is also a school here we've managed to visit, is that interestingly, two schools have combined. A school called Combatich and another one called Tasasis. They have combined. This is a primary school where children are forced to come down the hill and climb uphill to join other pupils from different schools. So we can see different uniforms. Yet they're just here and maybe education is paralyzed or learning has been disrupted in the area.
So what exactly do the people expect to hear from the Deputy President with what has been happening? Chesongoch has been one of the hardest hit areas with the kind of violence that's going on in Elgeyo Marakwet. What are the people saying?
The people are saying they want the Deputy President to be serious about security issues, and they want the Deputy President to assure them that they'll find a lasting solution to the cattle rustling menace that has ruined development and wreaked havoc in the region. So they don't want, they say that the Deputy President should steer away from politics and address issues that these have become a perennial problem since 1991 for the last more than 2 decades, and the problem is continue to injure the development of this Kerio Valley region.
So will we be right to say that tension still remains high at Chesongoch?
Yeah, tension still remains high in this volatile region following a series of attacks, including the one that we witnessed ourselves in the last 30 minutes, Akisa.
Elvis, thank you very much for speaking to us. Elvis Koskei there says the situation does not look very good, but they're still expecting Deputy President William Ruto to make way to Chesongoch in Elgeyo Marakwet.